Okay, so Ben and I went hunting up in North Texas. Started off on a new property that here is about 400 yards across or so. When I checked out the property the day before, looked at the base of the telephone poles, definitely had some hog rubbing on them. And as you can see, this property extends way out there, over 1,100 yards. Didn't see any rooting, but when I came back that night, I spied this lone hog out in the field using the Bearing Optics Super Hogster. So this was going to be the property where Ben and I were going to start when we got together. And sure enough, here's Ben using the Super Hogster scanning the field. And it wasn't too long after dark when he spied his first hog and sent me after it. And here I've sped up the video. I'm peering into the next section of the field, looking for the hog that Ben can see from right here. Ben followed along, and we set up next to a tractor that we use for some concealment because it was awfully bright outside. The moon was at 70% illumination, and we could actually see fairly well. And we're just waiting for the hog as it is slowly working in our direction. As we wait for the hog, Ben is checking out some of the features of the Super Hogster, here seeing how close it will focus. And then peering off into the field, picking up on the hog, focusing on it. That right now is out there around 150 or 160 yards. And eventually it did come closer. Now I'm going to be shooting my Lone Star Armory TX15 multi-purpose carbine enhanced in 6.5 Grindle. And Ben is going to be shooting a 30 REM AR. We're both going to be shooting Hornady SST bullets.
Shooter ready?
Shooter ready.
3, 2, 1.
2 hits.
2 hits.
Safe.
And here I'm going to do the walk up on the hog. I'm going to check the blink reflex to make sure that it is completely dead. There's no blink, and it is dead. As usual, my breast catcher comes from Tactical Brass Recovery. And we have a 160-pound boar down, and it's our first hog of the night. We left it by the side of the road, went on checking other properties. Next property we came to, kind of embarrassing, it's the landowner's property. And before we even got in the field, the hogs had us busted, and we're taking off, and we didn't even bother to go after them. Moving on to still the next property, we've got hogs way out there on the other side of the creek, several hundred yards away. In order to get there, what we're going to have to do is to follow this car path that's going to lead to a gate that'll allow us to cross the creek. We're going to be heading towards those cattle. We'll cross the creek, pass behind the front trees that you see there, and walk all the way back in this direction in order to get access to those hogs. Here we're partway through that stalk. We're across the creek. We're walking uphill towards the hogs.
Any cattle.
And we're going to start with Ben's perspective on this. He's going to be shooting into a different part of the group than I am.
I'm going to start on the right side of the group.
Our issue here is to make sure that we do not shoot over the horizon.
Okay. Yours doesn't have one moving in the back, does it?
So here we're verifying that we're not lined up on the same hog.
Okay. Waiting for a broadside. Okay, shooter's ready.
3, 2, 1.
Ben's hog goes down. He connects with the second hog, but it manages to run off.
Waiting for a broadside.
Here's the view from my rifle.
Okay, shooter's ready.
3, 2, 1.
My hog goes down. And I connect with my first 2 shots, but the third shot misses,
Well, that was quick.
and the hog gets away.
Safe.
Safe.
I haven't been seeing hogs doing much rooting of late, but they were certainly doing some rooting here. And here I'm walking up to once again do the eye touch, this time on the sow that I put down that was moving around quite a bit. I touch the eye. She doesn't blink. She's dead. So we came away with a 180-pound sow that turned out to be pregnant and a 90-pound boar. And before leaving the property, Ben had to negotiate with this guard that had been stationed at the gate. Moving on to the next property, here I'm using the Psionics Aurora day-night camera to get some footage of Ben as he's using the Super Hogster to scan for hogs. Now if there were hogs behind him in that field, I would be able to see them with the Psionics Aurora, as it is quite bright out. So no hogs here, and we move on to collect the original hog that we'd shot on the first property. And after loading him up,
one turn.
driving along, Ben spies another hog out in the pasture. Has me stop the truck, we get out and load our gear, and the hog remains in the field. And we're waiting for the hog to turn so that we can get a shot.
You ready?
Ready.
3, 2, 1. 2 shots, 2 hits, and our pig is down. Boom. Safety on.
Safety on.
This fellow turned out to be a 180-pound boar. And Ben wanted to recover his 30 REM AR bullet,
What are you shooting?
so using the Garrett Pro Pointer AT metal detector, we're able to locate it in the neck. After about 20 to 22 inches of penetration,
30 caliber.
the Grendel bullet was also recovered on the opposite side. And after dumping off those 2 hogs in the boneyard, Ben spied this last hog while we were on our way out. So once again we stopped the truck, got out, and started our stalk. Here we're partway through the stalk.
Alright, we are less than 200 yards out, but we can move forward.
So it looks like we're less than 200 yards out, but the hog seems oblivious to us. And so I guess that we can probably move forward safely. And so we move up about 40 yards or so. And here we've gotten set up again.
Shooter ready?
Ready.
3, 2, 1. By Jove, I think we've done it. Safety on.
Safety on.
Fist bump.
Fist bump.
Boom.
This hog also came in at 180 pounds. And the double headshot did some significant damage. This hog also happened to be crippled. Its right front leg was folded under, frozen in position, and it actually had worn through the skin. We probably did this hog a favor. Carpe sus, my friends.